Hey guys, so I thought I would just quickly introduce you to the Scallywagathon and show you what I will be reading for this week. So for the challenge Calm Before the Storm, the first book in a series, I'll be reading Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. For the challenge Yo Ho Ho, read a book that starts with R, I'll be reading Red Rising by Pierce Brown. For the challenge Marooned, read a standalone, I'll be reading The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. And for the challenge Blood on the Man, read a book by a female author, I'll be reading The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. So I think that I'm going to start off by reading Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas because I've been really excited to read this for the longest time, and my best friend just keeps telling me over and over again, Cynthia, you have to read this. So Katie, you're welcome. I'm reading it, and I will get to Fallen Kingdoms soon-ish. Before I do that though, I have some homework I need to do for my summer classes that I'm enrolled in, so I will get to reading later in the day, and then I will check in with you guys then. Now 3 o'clock and I have managed to finish most of my homework. I worked on it for a few hours, and in the meantime I got to read 33 pages of Glass Sword? What? And then I also managed to read 33 pages of Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I don't really have any strong feelings. It's pretty standard fantasy right now. But it's not bad, and I definitely will continue on, and that's really all the update I have for now. Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know that I finished my first book of the readathon, The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, and this one was pretty good. I'm debating in between a 3.5 and a 4-star. It was enjoyable, but there was just something in the story that I just didn't really connect with. I'll try to get my thoughts together better for my Goodreads review, and then if I happen to review it on here. It was really good, and I loved the way that it was written. I really love reading books in verse, and Elizabeth's voice is really, really nice to read. But it was just, there was just something off, and so I just need some time to think about what exactly it is. Hey guys, so it is 6 o'clock on day 2 of the Scallywagathon, and I have been both the worst vlogger and reader. In fact, I'm only on page 77 of Throne of Glass, which means I've only read 44 pages today. I also realized I've been participating wrong because I should have been reading it in order, but I've been skipping around, and so when I finished The Poet X yesterday, that's actually the last book I should have finished. But I'm just not going to worry about it because nobody's perfect. So as for my overall feelings right now of Throne of Glass, I'm just not really feeling it. It's just, there's nothing really special about it so far. I hope that it gets better though, so I will keep you guys in the loop. I'm actually going to be filming a tag video that will be up before this, so I will be sure to link that down below if you want to check it out. And that'd be really cool because it's my first tag video, so thank you in advance. Hey guys, it is 9 o'clock on day 3 of the Scallywagathon, and I've managed to read, why am I holding it like this? I've managed to read 142 pages of Throne of Glass, and yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot more than I was last night. It is far more enjoyable the further that I'm getting into it. I still am not 100% sure on the feelings that I have with it, but I'm definitely going to continue on and hopefully finish this today. I have to go to my aunt's school to help her rearrange some stuff in her classroom, so I will be gone for a few hours today from home, and I really don't think I'm going to be able to read in that time. I will hopefully finish Throne of Glass today and be able to move on to either Red Rising or The Handmaid's Tale. So yeah, I will definitely let you guys know later, and I will check in with you then. He's so cute. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. He's so cute. He's a little growly sometimes, but he's also very sweet. And I love him. I don't think he loves me back. Oh. Thank you. Alright. Get out of my room. I need... Oh, buddy. You were so cute. Hey guys, so I have had the longest day of my life. As I told you guys earlier, I went with my aunt to her school to help her rearrange some stuff, and she's a band teacher, and so that involved moving like instruments and risers and just like, you know, tables and chairs and stuff. And we were there a lot longer than either of us were anticipating, so that took up most of the day. I think I got back home around 4 o'clock, and I was just exhausted by then because I left the house at 9 and got back at 4. So I just wanted to have this little chill segment where I took off my makeup and got ready for bed and talked to you a little bit about Throne of Glass because I did make a little bit of progress. I read 106 pages today. I'm up to page 248. I am enjoying it a lot more than I have the past couple of days, and I'll get into that more when I'm taking off my makeup. So, and also, forgive me if it's a rambly mess because I am tired. Okay, so like I said, I've made it to page 248 of Throne of Glass, and I love Nehemiah's character a lot so far, but I'm nervous that she's gonna end up being like either killed or evil, because I'm really not that far in the series and I've never heard anyone talk about her. When I've like heard people talking about the book, no one's like, oh my gosh, Nehemiah, like, oh, I love her. It's always like the boys, like focusing on Kale and Dorian, and it's like, yeah, they're fine. And I do really like both of their characters. I don't really have a preference right now, but they're not my favorite so far. I just really find Nehemiah's character to be really interesting, and I would love to know even more about her and her background. I hate Kaltane. She is a witch, for lack of better words. I think she's very annoying and rude, and I mean, obviously that's like how her character is supposed to be. She's supposed to be unlikable, and she pulls that off very well. And like I said, I don't really right now have a preference between Kale and Dorian. I want to say Dorian simply because he's like, oh, the prince type, like, oh, every girl would love him. I don't really know enough about him to like know how I'm feeling. As for the overall story, I think that the like champion aspect is really interesting in the way that it's being done. It's like, it's being done really well. I mean, I don't think this is really spoilery, but there's also kind of like a mystery aspect to the story. And I personally love mysteries, so I think it's really interesting that that's like something that is being I guess sort of dived into with the story. I want to know more about Knox and just like his background, because I think that his character is also very interesting, but I fear in the case of like Nehemiah that Knox is probably gonna die, and so we won't know anything more about him. And I also get scared to like characters in stories like this because I'm afraid that they're gonna end up being evil. Like that's always my fear. Like Red Queen kind of ruined that for me. Like I'm not gonna say who, obviously, but there was a character that I really liked in that book, and then they ended up being bad, and it made me very sad. So yeah, I think I've rambled on enough. I need to go finish getting ready for bed, and hopefully tomorrow I wake up with more energy and I can finish Throne of Glass so that I can have another book done for the readathon. I have my other two reads here, Red Rising and The Handmaid's Tale, and I'm not sure which one I'm gonna get to next. I have an audiobook for The Handmaid's Tale, so I'm kind of leaning toward that one, just so that I can do laundry and clean around the house, and also still be able to read a little bit. But I'm kind of feeling Red Rising because I'm kind of in like a sci-fi mood, so we shall see. You guys will know tomorrow. I'll know tomorrow. We'll all be in the know. So yeah, I'll update you guys then. Hey guys, it is 2 o'clock and I finally managed to finish Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I need the second book right now. I think that this is going to be 4 out of 5 stars. I loved the ending of the book so much. It really left it on a cliffhanger and I need more. And because I struggled so much in the beginning, I felt the need to kind of take off 1 star. But I definitely recommend checking this out. So now I'm debating between my next 2 reads, which are The Handmaid's Tale and Red Rising, and I'm really not sure which one I'm in the mood for. Last night, I was really in the mood for Red Rising, but now I'm not so sure. So I think I'm going to read a chapter of each of them, and then we'll see which one I read. Obviously, you guys are going to know which one that is in the next clip, so yeah, I'll let you see it then. Hey guys, so it is Monday after the readathon is over, and I'm sorry that I didn't check in with you guys, but I was extremely busy and I really wasn't feeling well for the last part of the readathon. but that didn't mean that I wasn't able to read, because I was, and I was actually able to complete all 4 challenges. I kind of switched it up because I didn't end up being in the mood for Red Rising, so I took a different path, but I still ended up getting to the treasure and finishing this readathon on a high note. So altogether, my total was 1,365 pages, and I am very happy with that. I'm also proud of the fact that I did finish this readathon, because I have a really bad habit of starting a readathon and then getting disheartened halfway through and not finishing it. So I give myself a little bit of kudos with that, even though I did change my TBR halfway through. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to finish a readathon. So the first book that I finished was The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, and I ended up giving that one 3.5 stars. It was pretty good. There was just a little bit of disconnect between me and the character. I do still recommend it though, because Elizabeth's writing is really beautiful and it's written in prose, and that is just something that personally I really like reading from. The second book that I read for the readathon was Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, and I ended up giving that 4 stars. The beginning of the book was really slow and I really wasn't interested in the characters, but then the second half really picked up and I was really happy with how the story ended. So it could have been a 5-star book, but because the beginning was so slow and it took me a while to get into, I decided to give it 4 stars instead. The next book that I read / listened to was The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, and this is one of my new favorite books. I absolutely loved it. I loved Offred. I loved her voice. This book was heartbreaking yet inspiring, and honestly, I've never read anything like this before. And it's just scary to see how the world is like ours today, and yet it's so messed up, but they're driving around. Like, I watched the TV series and they're driving around in Priuses, but then these women are wearing these capes. Their heads are covered and everything and their faces are blocked out. And it's just terrifying to see that juxtaposition between this sort of fictional world, but also it's mashed together with our real world. If you have not read this book, I strongly suggest checking it out, because it is amazing. It's so good. I literally cannot gush about this book enough. And yes, obviously it goes without saying, I gave it 5 stars. And the last book I read for this readathon is The Earth, My Butt, and Other Big Round Things by Carolyn Mackler. I only ended up giving this book 2.5 stars. I felt like a lot of the issues in this book were really important, and I'm glad as like a bigger girl to have representation in a book, but I felt like the way that it was done wasn't very good, I guess. There were some positive moments in the book, but overall I don't know, I just kind of really felt let down from it, because I'd heard awesome things about it, and I just kind of put it off that this book was written in 2003, so like a lot of things have changed, and people's opinions on bodies and the way that they speak about them have changed in those, 15 years. So I think if you go into this book knowing that it was written in 2003 and that it will have its problems, I still think that you will find it enjoyable, because I didn't hate this book by any means. I just overall felt underwhelmed and kind of let down. So those are all the books that I read for this readathon. I had so much fun in it, and I will definitely be joining in the next readathon. If you participated, either leave your video down below or tell me what you read, because I would love to know. And yeah, I think that's all from me, so I will see you all next time. Bye.